from Tajmotormedics. I've got a Vauxhall Astra J here on a 2012 plate. Just doing a diesel filter and this fuel filter. I've already done an Insignia. It'll be in the playlist for Vauxhall. Do check it out. And this is an Astra J, which is 2012. Now doing a fuel filter is this right here. That's what we're going to be replacing. The filter inside, which is a paper filter. So that's the filter we're replacing. Now, first thing first you need to do is undo this little clip screw here, so you'll see in a minute the fuel would start dropping out of here. Here we go. What we now need to do is wait for the fuel to drain out first. Once the fuel drains out, I then use a 36mm socket for this bit here, which I've already got the longer bar. Right here you can see I've got the reason I've got a longer bar, so there's less tension, so it's easy to open. If I were to use something really small, what would have happened is you've got a plastic bracket around here. If you come around, have a look, see this plastic bracket? So when you put tension on here, this would then turn that way or that way. You're going to sort of kind of break it off. So use the biggest bar you've got just to loosen it up. Once it's loosened up, happy days. And then to put it back together as well, it's a 25 Newton meter. You can see right there, that's how much you need to torque it up to, 25 Newton meter. If you haven't got a torque, just so when you're tightening it, just nip it up so this is touching here. You see it's quite flush. Now the seal on this one is a really complicated one again, because if you look at the seal, you can see a line in the middle right here in the seal, and then if you look on this side, it's just kind of narrower, slightly wider. So this would sit in basically like this, goes in, and then the filter goes in, and then the cap goes on. That's what you've got to do. Right, basically it was taking too long, so what I'm going to do, got one of my other guys here with me as well now, so we're going to take this is the thing I hated. I didn't want to get myself wet. Oops, I dropped it in there. Where is the god? Just right here. So you can see there's a washer in there as well. It's like a seal. So just remember that seal. Make sure when you don't get a new one with a new filter, so you've got to put the same one back on. But make sure it is nice and clean and is not cracked or anything as well. So you can still see the fuel is still coming out, so we just have to wait. Right now the fuel is all leaked out, so which is pretty good. What we're going to do is use this bar here now. Like I said to you, use this bar because I'm not going to put no tension on there at all. Look at that. And it opens up. Now if I were to use something smaller, then there would be a problem. So once you take it out, you'll see the green seal on the inside. And what I said to you earlier on as well, the way they're sitting is very, very important. So let's just take this out first. I thought for a second there was no fuel filter, but it's stuck right in there. And there'll be fuel leaking out of it in a minute as well. Let's just... Right, that's not a good news. Could you get an adjustable pliers, please? You know the one... Thank you. So might you have to use a plier for this, because for some reason that's stuck in there now. But that's the seal I was saying right here, the green one. You can see the groove in the middle, so then you know which way is the right way. If I just take this out, I just cut my nails, didn't I? Here we go, that's out. So you see the bit here? So it goes in like this basically. Move the seal to the side. We use a plier now. My God, man, wow. That's what it was. Now that's the fuel filter. If you grab the other one, please, the new one. And you see the difference in the fuel filter now. Brilliant. So just chuck that in there. What I'm going to do, I'm going to clean my hands and this up. Make sure this is all nice and dry. If you hold that 1 sec, please, thank you. Get the seal. Now what you got to do is connect the filter up first, so that slots in there, and then the seal, the groove bit again, it goes on the bottom, so when we slide it through, make sure it goes on nicely. And then I might have to hold this 1 second. This is a tricky part. So now that's in there, I slot the filter in and then screw it in. Make sure the seal doesn't come out. Brilliant. Now I know most of you might not have a torque, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to use a normal ratchet for you guys to know how much to tighten it. So this is just a normal ratchet with an extension. I will torque it up, but this is what you need to do. So once it goes in, and that's it. You then look around, you see where the joiners is now, so that's sitting nice and flush, so this ain't gonna leak. Last thing, we need to put this on back now. So I've got the seal in there as well, which is pretty good. Get a screwdriver, slot it in, and then screw it in. And with this as well, you just got to nip it up, so don't go too mad on it. And that's it. So what we're going to now do is start the car up and everything, but before we do that, we need to top it up with oil as well, because we've done an oil service, basically full service on this. So we're going to top the oil up, so I'm not going to take your time, but we will start the car up and check for leaks as well. So what you do, you switch the ignition on, wait 30 seconds for this to fill up, switch the ignition off again, switch the ignition on again for 30 seconds for the fuel to fill up, switch it off again, then switch the ignition on for 30 seconds again, then crank it over. It should start up. Now if it cuts off, don't worry about it, don't panic, because these have primers in the fuel tank, so which is pretty good. Like Peugeots and Citroens, they're a nightmare, and the Fords, they're a nightmare to start, but these are pretty good. And the fourth time you just crank it over, it should start up, and happy days. And then you just check for leaks, make sure there's no leaks, and then you can just drive as normal. If there is anything else you need to know, comment us below. We'll try helping you as much as we can, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like the video, thank you, and goodbye.